Now on WHS11 News at 5, for the first time, we are hearing the jail phone calls made by Brooks Houck to some of his family members after he was convicted in the murder of Crystal Rogers.
Also today, we're following a developing story in Shelbyville. A deadly officer-involved shooting there in Shelby County today, leaving one man dead. We're going to hear from a close neighbor about what happened.
And following up our Fancy Farm coverage from the weekend, we are looking ahead to the 2027 Kentucky governor's race. WHAS 11 News at 5 starts now.
First here tonight at 5 o'clock, the newly released phone calls from jail revealing Brooks Houck's immediate thoughts after his conviction in the death of Crystal Rogers. It's our top story for you tonight. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. In those calls obtained from the Warren County Detention Center, Houck asked his sister about his son, discusses his plans to appeal, and looks ahead to the civil case with his mother.
You know, that farm's nothing's owed on that. I don't know if that'll be protected in the civil suit, but, you know, in the next year or something going through the court system, you know, they're going to take everything that I've got. You know that, don't you?
Well, those phone calls with his mother prompted a judge to freeze Houck's assets until that civil suit filed by Crystal's family plays out.
Also, really the first time we've heard him speaking in many, many years, and now we just received these phone calls late this afternoon. Our team is listening through them. We're going to have a closer look ahead. More tonight at 6 o'clock, so stay right here with us, and then on the WHAS 11 night team at 11 o'clock.
Also new here at 5, prosecutors are responding to Steve Lawson's request for a new trial. Steve Lawson was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence. His defense team has requested a new trial, citing lack of adequate time to prepare, court order violations, and other reasons. In the response filed today, prosecutor Shane Young said the defense didn't provide enough reasoning. Steve Lawson's sentencing is scheduled for Wednesday afternoon. A jury recommended he serve 17 years.
And now here at 5 o'clock to a story developing in Shelbyville we've been following all day long with new information. Police say a man firing a gun right toward a Shelby County sheriff very early this morning, 1 a.m., was then shot and killed by that deputy. Police say the sheriff got a call about a domestic situation happening at a home on Blackwell Road. That's not far from Midland Trail. WHS 11's Alexandra Goldberg and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton in Shelbyville have the details on what happened next from a close neighbor who heard it all happening.
I was laying on my couch and I heard pop, 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 pop. And I said, those are gunshots, and it sounded like it was in my front yard.
Shelbyville neighbor Jessica Parker describes the frightening moment around 1 in the morning that her neighbor, 41-year-old Ryan McBride of Shelbyville, was shot dead by the Shelby County Sheriff's deputy.
He was very distraught, and I heard him say that he had killed the man, and that's when I looked over and I had seen the man laid out in the garage.
Kentucky State Police say the deputy responded to a domestic situation on Blackwell Road. Police say the deputy was talking to the 41-year-old when McBride grabbed a gun and shot at the deputy. The deputy returned fire and McBride was shot and killed at his home.
And when I ran outside, there was cops coming from every direction. And that's when my main focus was to try to find my daughter.
Parker says her 18-year-old daughter was caught in the middle of it, coming home from a gas station, now traumatized.
She was scared. She said she thought for sure she was going to get shot. She said all she saw was the flashes from the gun and then the guy just dropped.
Now the only evidence that is left on the scene, this police tape in a garbage bin tucked on the side of the Shelbyville family's home. At the front of the home, pieces of the McBride family now grieving the loss of their father.
Earlier that day he was playing golf in the yard with his 2 boys. And then at 1 o'clock we hear, gunfire.
Kentucky State Police is investigating the shooting. In Shelbyville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11 on your side.
During the shootout, Kentucky State Police say at least one round fired by McBride hit the sheriff's deputy equipment and then resulted in a minor injury. Kentucky State Police say that sheriff's deputy was treated at a local hospital and has since been released.
Misty Null, the estranged wife of former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Null, has rescinded her request for a new judge in her case. A hearing is scheduled next week to potentially throw out her plea deal and set the case for trial. Focus reporter Travis Breeze is here now with a recap of why Misty wanted a new judge in the first place. Travis?
Well, Connie, Misty Null argued through a series of motions on July 16th that Judge Larry Medlock had been biased against the Null family for over a year, citing things that he even said to Jamie Null during his criminal case. Now, Misty was directly responding to Medlock's July 7th order when he threatened to throw out her plea deal and hold her in contempt of court for comments that she made to an interview or in an interview to another station that came out right after her plea deal was accepted. Now, Misty Null was sentenced on July 3rd to 1.5 years in prison and 4.5 years on probation for theft and tax evasion from her husband's nonprofit company, New Chapel EMS. So the ball was back in Medlock's court to decide whether or not he was going to recuse himself. And then late Friday afternoon, Misty rescinded her motion. No reason is given in that motion, and her attorney would not give any additional comment on the phone today. During her sentencing on July 3rd, Medlock made several remarks, one of them saying that Misty failed to protect her daughters.
While you were engaged in this illegal activity with your estranged husband, you showed by your own actions they were not worth protecting. From the fallout of your greed, even to the point of letting one of your daughters adopt a criminal lifestyle as well.
Medlock was referring to Casey Null, who served 4.5 months in a county jail and is now out on 4 years of probation. She pleaded guilty to stealing over $100,000 from New Chapel. So now that Misty has rescinded her motion for a new judge and rescinded the motion to cancel the August 12th hearing, it appears that that hearing is now back on for next Tuesday at 10 a.m. In the studio, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
Thank you.
What a twist in that case.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Travis. Well, after an incredible weekend of that low humidity, right on time, of course, it started creeping right back in.
You felt it, didn't you?
But those clouds today, Mallory, really kept things nice around here.
Yeah, temperatures just right around 80 degrees. So still a cooler start to the month of August compared to our very hot, humid, and rainy, of course, July. As we take that live look outside from our Bachman Auto Group U of L health camera over the Ohio River, once again, sitting right at that 80-degree mark, both at the Louisville International Airport and Bowman Field. We have a bit of a breeze coming in from the east-southeast, around 9 miles per hour, and our dew point is at 66 degrees. Temperatures all across Kentuckiana, mid to upper 60s to lower 70s. Not bad for August 4th. Dew points are in the 60s, so yes, a little bit muggier than we were, especially Friday and Saturday with those very low dew points, that very low humidity. Highest dew points are off to our west, where we have been seeing more scattered showers and storms on the radar. They've been fairly stationary around Illinois, right along that Illinois-Indiana border there. A few pop-up showers right along Jasper, but many of us in Kentuckiana, we are dry for now. Now, we will hold an isolated storm chance through the evening hours, though I think cloud cover is really helping us out. Best chance trending more so off to the north in southern Indiana, but of course, localized downpours are possible with any shower or storm that does develop this time of year, simply because we have that humidity around. Lows tonight will drop into the mid to upper 60s, and then tomorrow we'll hold another spotty storm chance with highs back in the 80s. We'll take a full look at our 7-day forecast. That's coming up shortly.
Mallory, thank you. Another top story for you at 5. That home explosion in Jeffersonville, Indiana, that took nearly everything from the Atkinson family last Wednesday, late Wednesday night.
Now a Jeffersonville preschool teacher is raising money to replace what was lost and to help pay for that mountain of medical bills.
Our Ian Hardwick shares how you can get involved and has an update on the family that's been impacted.
One of the members smelled gas, and then she said within a few minutes, everything was just gone. It's just within a blink of an eye, everything disappeared.
Alicia Denson is raising money for the Atkinson family after an explosion tore apart their Jeffersonville home on Washington Way.
It was just heartbreaking. They're all completely burned from head to toe, and have a long road to recovery.
Arbonna James shared these photos of her family, heads and arms covered in gauze, at the University of Louisville Hospital. Her brother and nephew also lived at the home, but were not there during the blast. Denson gave the 7-year-old boy supplies for his first week of school through a backpack donation drive.
We've got 7 people that no longer have a home, and they've lost memories and photos and everything they had. It's just completely gone, and now they've got 5 of the 7 that have medical bills that are just building up.
So Denson started a GoFundMe with a long-term goal of raising $25,000 to pay for the family's furniture, car, clothes, and mounting medical costs. The Jeffersonville Fire Department has not released a cause yet for this explosion, but the gas provider for this area, CenterPoint, has been here performing leak inspections in the neighborhood. They say they haven't found any leaks. In Jeffersonville, I'm Ian Hardwitt for WHAS 11 on your side.
And we've got a link to that GoFundMe for the Atkinsons. Just look for this story on the WHAS11.com homepage. An early morning fire burned through dozens of storage units in the Highview neighborhood. Fern Creek and Okolona fire crews were called to a self-storage property that's on Fern Valley Road just before 1 o'clock this morning. It took about 20 minutes to get that flames under control, but not before it had heavily damaged around 40 individual storage units. Fire crews tell us there were no injuries and the cause is under investigation.
Well, the first day of classes for Jefferson County Public Schools coming up this Thursday. Yes, it's a big back-to-school week, but for the faculty members, the work has already started. We found the staff members at Wheeler Elementary School in Fern Creek decorating their classrooms earlier today. 5th grade teacher Jessica Galati says her goal is to make the room as comfortable as possible for the students.
But they'll come in and they're just like, their eyes light up and they are so excited, and you know, they love the LEDs and the lighting, and so it's a lot of fun for them.
Wheeler Elementary teachers and staff members also hosting their Meet the Teachers event today, allowing students to meet their teachers, find the classrooms and desks, and collect their materials before the first day of school. As your families are heading back to school, we invite you to send us your first day back photos. We've made it easy. Just text those photos to the number on your screen to WHAS 11. It's 502-582-7290, and they might be featured right here on our WHAS 11 newscasts.